Greetings, fellow watchers and racers. Welcome back to another video. This is the other video of the other race. Well, this is the next video of the next race that took place on the very first inaugural Battle of Beetles. The inaugural Battle of Beetles is a race in which it is 53 laps run over 3 weekends, and they're divided into 3 rounds, 2 races per round, 1 in the 66 and 1 in the Group 3 Beetle. I already did a basic first time commentary quite a while back for the highlights, and I figured I'd try to do something video style. I think when I did that last time it wasn't been a live stream, but I can't remember, so I decided to go ahead and try my hand at trying to see if I can make some videos to help bring some more views to the channel, float some videos, something that's a little shorter, not as long as the live stream, so people don't have to go through it. And I figure as I try to do this thing, maybe it will get better and better. I don't know, but we will try and find out. So let's go through the field. In this particular race, this is race number 2, the Group 3 race, the Group 3 Beetle race at Autodromo Nazionale Monza. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right, and I hope that I am, but I probably am not. But we had ourselves a pretty nice grid. On the pole, we had TNTR Zulu from the United States. We had Miles Kidd, M. Rosa, 3 Americans bringing up the front row who qualified very well. We had ourselves a Brazilian, Taigaio, how you pronounce that, Taigaio BR, bringing up the 4th spot. We've got Cristal. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that is the Chilean flag. That is Cristobal BMX. We have Blue Fison, he and M. Rosa, they were both in the 66 race. That was the first Battle of Beetles race, which was the 66 Beetle, which is a tribute to Herbie the Love Bug. If you have never seen Herbie the Love Bug, go check out it, Herbie the Love Bug, and you will find yourselves falling in love with that little beetle, and that is why we have the Battle of Beetles. It's because of that little beetle, but mostly because of grandfather Tidney. Tidney, if you don't know who Tidney is, he's a World Tour finalist in the Gran Turismo Racing Series, Gran Turismo Sport Racing Series, and he hosts something called the Mini Madness. But as a result of watching his Mini Madness, I thought, when they added the 66 Beetle to the Gran Turismo lineup, I decided, you know what? We've got 2 Beetles. I like Beetles. I've had Beetles. I've owned 4 Beetles in the past. And because of Herbie the Love Bug and the number 53 laps, there you go. But to save time, we break it up into 3 rounds, which is 2 races per round. And it's 10 laps in the 66, 10 laps in the Group 3, 10 laps in the 66, 10 laps in the Group 3, 10 laps in the 66, and the final 3 in the Group 3 at the Nürburgring. But as a result, we do mix it up. So that is the brief little history of how the Battle of Beetles took place. And now, to bring you back, we are back to the lineup with 6th place as Blue Fison, your host, WRL Podium 13. In 7th spot, Schizogen, who was also in the first race, is now in 8th spot. Diaco Bub from Germany is in 9th spot. Mufu Beast is still with us in 10th spot. Jim V 1976 brings up the top 11. Now, as this race gets ready to take place. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. I was trying to see if I can adjust. I'm going to record this video using the Elgato, and the race is off. The second race in the inaugural Battle of Beetles has now taken off, and many of you may have recognized that this particular video is one that we use to start when we're getting ready to do the Battle of Beetles. As we're coming into the first turn here, we had ourselves a bit of oh my goodness, look at that. Cars are all over the place. Tagging. There's a car over there. Looks like the Brazilian got over in the kitty litter. As we go back and take a look at that from the last person's perspective from the top, where Mufu BC got past, and it looks like we had ourselves a bit of chaos. It looks like we've had Blue Fison, and who else was that over there in the kitty litter? Let's take another look as we go back to the front and see there's your host. WRL Podium 13 is in his designed livery by Mufu Beast, which is the Speed Racer Speed 13 Mach 13 Beetle. But we had ourselves a nice bit of collisions going on above there. Let's see if we can go over and see if we can trying to see if we can see who that went over into the kill leader, but it was a little more difficult to see than we thought we could see. Let's try it one more time. See if maybe we can see who is in this particular situation here. I'm looking at trying to make sure that the volume is going to sound fairly well now. I'm trying to get up closer to the microphone. Yes, that was the Brazilian and Blue Flyson who got knocked over into the kill leader, which has a tendency to happen in this particular first race. But as we move ourselves back up, we have M. Rosa, Miles Kidd, and TNTR Zulu, who was on the pole, who is now in third place. He is now in third place and coming up because he lost the lead. He's now behind Miles Kidd, takes himself around through that next chicane. Unfortunately, I don't know the names of the tracks, and I don't know the track turn numbers, so we would just have to say this particular turn until I start learning. Oh, it looks like we got Miles Kidd over the Kidd. That is one beautiful livery. When you look at that particular livery, it looks like it's suede, like you can touch it and that it has some kind of texture on it. But we are riding along with TNTR Zulu as he's running in third place, and as we make our way back, we've got fourth place bringing up by Crystal Ball from the Chilean, and then we got Dai Kobub bringing up his fifth place. Jim V 1976 bringing up sixth spot. WRL Podium 13 is running seventh. Blue Flyson is coming up eighth. Tayo Goyo in ninth, who is trying to make his way back up. Schizo is in 10th. Had a little problem turning right there through that turn. And Mufu Beast, who's bringing it up last, who has said himself that he is not the best racer, but he is a very fantastic livery designer. Take a look at those liveries, ladies and gentlemen. And as we go through the field, tell you what, we're going to go back to the beginning. And we're going to let these cars spread out a little bit. Maybe we can take a bit of a pause and go through here. We can see the numbers. As you can see how the cars are all lined up. Let us go through the field and take a look at all these different liveries. Let's go walk through and take a look at the different liveries. Bringing up the final spot, we have Mufu Beast. We know who that is because as you remember from maybe possibly watching the very first Battle of Beetles, which is the 66 race number 1 in round number 1 of the Battle of Beetles series number 1. This is Mufu Beast. He designed that livery, and it's a pretty good looking livery. I don't know who this was here near the back, but I think it might have been Jim 1976. Oh, I thought that was that, I think that, yeah, there you go. 76. That's Jim 1976. Yep, because you can see his name on the top. There you go. And maybe that is how we will now be able to try to figure out exactly who is doing what, who is where. So, bringing up the last spot is Jim V 1976. That is Mufu Beast in his specially designed livery. This is Daikabub, who also designs livery. Freaky fast. Jack Daniels. I said Jim Daniels. Jack Daniels livery. That, I believe, is Schizogen. Schizogen with his first livery for the Group 3 Beetle. And as we move a little further up, there is your host. And it is weird because your host does not have his name on the side of the vehicle to let you know who it is. But there it is. We can see his name right there, WRL Podium 13. And if you would like to know, I did not design this livery myself. That was Mufu Beast. He designed this particular livery for me, and it is a beautiful livery. We have two black Beetles. One is a matte black, and one is a glossy black like this one, but is a very beautiful, beautiful livery, and I like it. I believe that is Blue Flyson. His name is also not on the side of his vehicle, but I think that is Blue Flyson with the red and gold Beetle. This is a basic Beetle, the one that comes designed for the car in the game. I don't know who that is. Another one right here is another basic design. We've got ourselves a pink livery, BWT. And of course, it seems like some people's names are on the side of the vehicle or just above the door, just on the top of the door jamb, on top of the front door of the vehicle. And of course, that is that suede livery. It looks like a suede livery. Volkswagen Racing. One beautiful livery. Never could find it. I don't even think I can find that person's name because they've probably changed their name. And of course, sitting on the pole with another basic livery. And that ER. Those are the liveries for this particular race. So let's get out of here and get back to the race and fast forward a little bit and see just how far along we have gotten. That whole idea was to try to go through them, so we're going to move a little forward. As we have it, we've got ourselves a 3-car runaway with M. Rosa, TNTR Zulu, who has made himself back up to second spot at this particular point. and Miles Kidd, who are basically running away with this particular race. But it is lap 2 only, so you never know. Maybe some other people will come up. Crystal Ball, the Chilean, is coming up. He's got a car coming behind, which seems to be Dio Kebab in the Jim Jack Daniels. Oh, looks like Jack Daniels got over in the kitty litter just a wee bit there, Jim V. Looks like everybody's still going fairly well. We got ourselves another little pack here. WRL Podium running up in the last bit of that pack. Schizo is kind of running by his lonesome. He's back there. And, of course, we got Mufu Beast on lap 10. We got ourselves a nice little battle going up here for 1, 2, and 3 with Imrosa, TNT, and Miles Kidd. They are running away, but it almost looks like the Chilean is trying to walk them down. He is getting a bit closer than maybe anybody else could possibly be. Jim, 1976, is leading the second pack with Dio Kebab, Blue Flyson, and Tayo Gallo, the Brazilian. WRL Podium is also trying to see if he can make his way up. Just a little farther back, Schizo is running by himself and just now serving his particular penalty. As we move further up, it looks like we've got someone that's maybe trying to make a move up as we go up through that particular chicane. It just looks like they are trying to pull themselves away from third place, which is Miles Kidd. And as you can see, oh, it looks like somebody is off. It looks like the Brazilian. He went off in that particular turn, and that was not the best way to go through that particular turn. Maybe we should go back and take a look and see what happened to him. We will ride along with him. Looks like he's coming up behind Blue Flyson. It looks like that is Blue Flyson in the red and gold Group 3 Beetle. Looks like he tried to avoid. He did the right thing by trying to avoid not messing up someone else's race. He went off over into the grass and he got reset, and now he's coming back up. He still has himself a relative good lead on Schizo, who looks like maybe at the beginning was having just a little bit of a problem. He did fairly well he did very well in the very first 66 race, and very well in the first 66 race by finishing that race in second spot. All right, as we make our ways back up here, it looks like we got ourselves a nice little battle going here between Dio Kebab and 1976 a Jim. Blue Flyson, the UKian, looks like he gets over to the killer litter, almost loses the car, and your host, WRL Podium, takes it. 7th spot goes around him, and it looks like now these two are trying to battle. We've got ourselves a nice little pack back here, but it looks like we've got Crystal Ball running by himself, and of course the front 3 has run away with this particular race. We will now move a little further ahead just to see just how far we're going. M. Rosa looks like he is continuing to lead this race. Every now and then someone got alongside, but it looks like he is leading this race fairly well. We got on this lap here, lap number 5, we've got TNT Arzulu still running behind, and it looks like those two are running very close together, but it looks like this particular driver, TNT Arzulu from America, is running with now a 0.4 second penalty. Miles Kidd has dropped back now with a 2.6 second penalty. What in the world did he do to accumulate all those penalty points there? Crystal Ball is still running by himself. Dio Kebab, as we look behind him, we see he has now gotten past Blue Flyson. Blue Flyson is ahead of Jim V 1976, and 1976 is ahead of the Brazilian, who has made his way up past WRL Podium, who has a 2-second penalty. What did he do to get that 2-second penalty? We may not know because this video is running kind of long. We want to keep it as short as possible. It looks like we've got Mufu Beast over in the kitty litter, trying to get himself out. As we make our way back to the front on lap 6, we will now fast forward to see just how far along we will get. It looks like we've got the front 2 has run away with this particular race, and they're running neck and neck. They're coming down through the first chicane, and we're going to see who backs off and to see how they get through there. Woo, TNT. Yes, we have ourselves a battle going through here. Oh, it looks like Rosa. Oh, he did the gentlemanly thing. He was able to take him down, and it looks like Miles Kidd was able to take advantage of the the brouhaha that took place going through that particular chicane, and now we have ourselves a new leader, ladies and gentlemen. But I think maybe he just may have considered serving his penalties. We will go back up there now and see if maybe, yes, he has served just a little bit of his penalties, and if he has, it looks like he may not be able to hold this particular lead with a 1.8 second penalty, and TNT is still ahead because M. Rosa did the nice gentlemanly thing and he backed off to make sure that he stayed and allowed, he didn't stay off of him, but he allowed him to at least go back after tagging him into that particular corner. And because Miles Kidd had such a penalty, he has to drop back and still 1.3 seconds worth of penalties to serve. The Chilean is still back there by himself, running all alone, and of course it looks like we've got ourselves the other, what you might call, third pack. This is not necessarily a second pack here. He's just running by himself, but he's got a 1.9 second penalty there. Looks like Mufu Beast also is about to get lapped again by another car, but we've got ourselves a nice little pack back here, and we can go back and try to find out where your host is running in this particular race. He is back in 9th spot, not doing so well. But Schizo brings up 10th, and looks like he is catching your host, who's just took 2 of his tires off the track to go over those little rumble strips and that little, what do you call that, little barrier sausage sitting on the side there. And Mufu Beast bringing up the rear. Looks like he's getting passed again. As we come back around on lap 7, it looks like we got M. Rosa, who just basically, we're going to have to go back and take a look at that. We had M. Rosa maybe trying to come in and go around TNT Arzulu. Looks like these two have been battling throughout this entire race. It looks like he gets him on his left quarter panel. He cuts across the track, and I think he's going to probably do the gentlemanly thing again, but let's see. Now it looks like Miles Kidd got himself, but this time it doesn't look like Miles Rosa decided he wanted to wait and let his fellow his fellow Beetle driver go past him, and it looks like TNT Arzulu is now in 3rd place at having what looks like getting run off the track. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. We can go back and take a look again, but this video is running kind of long, you know what I mean? But we have seen it. We can go back and take a look. Let's go take a look at that again. TNT Arzulu is running out front. M. Rosa decides to take an outside move. He cuts onto him, and he actually even cuts the track, and it doesn't even look like he got a penalty, but that cutting the track should have earned him a penalty, but it doesn't look like at the time the game, when it was working at this particular time, it doesn't look like it gave him a penalty, but he should have gotten a penalty. At the very least, it also seems like maybe he should have done the gentlemanly thing again and sportsmanship thing again and backed off and let him go. We still have 8.8 seconds to be served by Miles Kidd, who is running now in 2nd place. But let's see if TNT Arzulu, I hit the wrong control. Let's see if TNT Arzulu can get back up there and run with these guys. It looks like he is walking them down. As we move back, we still have 1.9 seconds. That needs to be served by Cristobal BMX from Chile. We got Dykabub coming up and still running. It looks like that second field has broken up apart now, but we still have Blue Flyson running right behind, coming up the back door, running it really, really quickly on the 7th lap here. Coming around to get ready to go through that big, long right-hander. I think it has a name, but I don't know exactly what that name is called. Blue Flyson is running up behind Dykabub, the German. The UK is chasing the German. It's like maybe he's going to try to make a little move here. Let's see if he goes for the inside move to try to cut on the inside to go past him. Coming along the straight around the front straight, which is a front of the pit, because I don't know the name of these turns. I don't know the number of the turns, and I don't know what they're called. I don't know what these particular tracks. I don't know what these particular sections of these tracks are called. So I'm trying my best, and it looks like Blue Flyson has moved up behind, using the slipstream a little bit to go over and put Dykabub in 6th spot as he goes around. But they're coming into the first chicane, and he has to back off, and it looks like he's going to tuck in behind him. Maybe try to see if he can make another move to see if he can get around him. But we got ourselves a nice little battle going on here. We can see if maybe somebody's behind. Yeah, it would be the Brazilian who's running behind. And Jim V1976, your host, is now up to a 1.978 penalty, which is not doing so well. And it looks like he may just get caught by Schizo. Jen Mufu brings up the rear, who has been lapped. Let's get back to the front. It looks like we have TNT has now made his way back up to 2nd place, but he had to serve himself a penalty, which dropped him back to 3rd spot. But let's move a little forward and see what happens. We are now getting ready. We have now started in the 9th lap. Let's go back. We got Cristobal, 1.9 seconds. Looks like he lost his car a little bit there. Dykabub is still coming up, bringing up that 2nd pack, which is not much of a pack anymore. It's just a 2-car run with Jim 1976 in the back there. Your host, WRL Podium, has a 2-second penalty. Jim 1976 has a 2-second penalty also. And Mufu Beast brings up the rear with Schizo in 10th spot. Let's go back here and see who's out front now. Let's move this forward and go ahead and get this 10th lap started. We've got M. Rosa still going. It has started the 10th lap. we have Miles Kidd, who has now served his penalty and sticking with M. Rosa as he comes up to second place. We got TNTR Zulu. Let's see if maybe these guys can make themselves a nice little race here. Oh, and it looks like the Chilean lost the car in the particular, this very first chicane. I don't know what it's called, but let's go back and take a look and see what happened. Let's take a look and see what happened. He's braking. He's turning right. He goes right. He goes left. And I kind of figured that's exactly what was going to happen. He put a little too much throttle, probably rolling push turned a little too far, and his car spun out, and he is now in the grassy area. It is not a grassy knoll, but it makes you think that maybe it just be a grassy knoll, which allows Blue Flyson and Dykebub to go past the Chilean. And it looks like the Brazilian is coming up on to possibly try to make this pass. Also, your host has served his penalty, but he is so far back. He is not a contender for this particular race, so let's go back up to the front and see what we have here. All right. Oh, my goodness. We're gotta have to go back and take a look and see what happened here. Let's ride along with TNTR Zulu, who was somewhat pushed off the track, if you will, by M. Rosa. Looks like they got a little squirrely there. They got themselves a little battle going on with the front three, who has been leading this race all front this entire time. TNT comes up on the inside of M. Rosa. M. Rosa had to go on the outside of Miles. Miles Kidd is now going to see if he can tuck up behind him. We got TNT Arzulu, who has now taken the lead, which we are now on the last lap. Miles Kidd is now in second place. M. Rosa is now in third place, and we're going to see what. Let's ride along and see what happens as these three cars come up here. It almost looks like they're neck and neck. And we've got ourselves a three-wide battle as they come up and come through the particular. Was that a chicane? Was that a chicane that they just came up here? Let's go take a look. We're coming up to this particular section of the track that I also don't know, but I'm going to call it the S's because it looks like a big giant S as we go left turn. Then we go right turn. Then we go left turn again through this particular section of the track that I don't know. I don't even know what the track numbers are, and that is just ridiculous, but your host will have to try to see if he can eventually try to learn what these turns are called. We are coming now to the final section of the track, the final right-hander, and it looks like M. Rosa just slid his car, maybe trying a little bit too hard to catch up with these guys. It looks like we're coming around to see the winner, which looks like it's going to be TNTR Zulu, bringing up second spot, Miles Kidd and M. Rosa for the podium. We had ourselves a nice little battle there with those top three guys, and let's go back and take a look and see if maybe anybody else is going to pass this finish line, but I don't think so because the video is getting ready to run out. It's getting ready to run out, and your host, WRL Podium, is going to, looks like he's going to eventually finish in ninth spot, with Schizo bringing up 10th and Mufu Beast last. That, my friends, is the round 1 race 2 video of the inaugural Battle of Beatles, and this is your host as this video comes to a close. So I want to say a big old thank you to everybody who came out to maybe take a look at this video. It ran a little bit long because we had some other significant things to watch as I try to get better at this commentary thing. Of course, I am not all that good at it, but that is the inaugural Battle of Beatles, round number 1, the very first 2 races. The first race in the 66 Beetle, which has a separate video, and this is the Group 3 video, the Group 3 Beetle video, which has its own separate video. So that's how the very first Battle of Beatles took place. And with that, with a 23-minute video, I'm not going to edit it. I'm going to leave it. It is live. This is how it went. Of course, some mistakes were made because you get a little nervous. You know, you're talking to people. You go, oh, my God, they're listening to me. I'm trying not to do so well. I want to do so well. But this is how it took place. So now we're going to end this and say thank you very much for watching. Once again, that was the Battle of Beatles, the second race in the inaugural Battle of Beatles. That also took place on September 21st, 2019 at Autodromo Nazionale Monza. And I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. But that is going to be the end, and we're going to see how this video looks. So you all have a good day, and hope you liked it. Hit that video like button and hit that subscribe to come back and check out some more videos and live streams from WRL Podium Authority.